Hello, everyone, and welcome to CDI College's information session for Early Childhood Education, or ECE for short. My name is Jennifer Matsumoto, and I'm pleased to serve as your host this evening. I would like to begin by acknowledging that I'm presenting from the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Kwantlen, Katsi, and Semiahmoo nations. I'm grateful for the opportunity to live, learn, and work on these lands. I myself have been an early childhood educator since 2013, and over the years, I've had the opportunity to grow into a variety of rewarding roles, including child care center manager, ECE instructor and practicum coordinator, and campus education manager. Today, I have the privilege of leading a private college that offers an ECE program where I continue to support students as they begin their journey into this meaningful and impactful field. Early childhood education truly holds a special place in my heart, and I'm incredibly grateful for the many opportunities it has brought into my own life. My experience is just one example of how dynamic, inspiring, and full of possibilities a career in ECE can be. There are so many exciting pathways to explore, and each one offers the chance to make a real difference in the lives of children and families across BC. This evening, I've invited some wonderful guest speakers from various childcare organizations who will share their personal experiences, insights into the field, and practical advice for building a successful career in early childhood education. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I hope you find this session both informative and inspiring. This session will begin with a general overview of early childhood education and an exploration of why it continues to be such a high demand and rewarding career in BC. We will also outline the steps required to become a licensed ECE in the province. Following this, I will introduce each of our guest speakers who will talk about their respective organizations, highlight their own professional journeys, and offer valuable perspectives from within the industry. We will then provide an overview of the ECE program at CDI College, including key details about the curriculum and admissions requirements. And finally, we will open the floor for a Q&A session from our guest panel. I encourage our audience to actively participate by submitting questions in the meeting chat throughout the session. We will compile these and present them to our panelists for discussion. I would now like to introduce to you our Regional ECE Coordinator, Dee Lackadin. Dee has been involved with post-secondary education since 2019 and has been instrumental in obtaining accreditation for CDI College's highly popular ECE program. Please welcome Dee.
Thank you so much, Jen, and hello, everyone. Wow, it's nice to see all of you. I can recognize most of you, and it's great to be here with all of you today. So I'll be sharing a brief overview of early childhood education in British Columbia, including why this profession is becoming increasingly important and the pathway into the field. So to start, and before we talk about careers and opportunities, I think it's important to recognize just how impactful this profession really is. So many of us can probably remember an educator or caregiver from our early years who made us feel safe, right? Who made us feel encouraged and supported. And that's what exactly the kind of influence early childhood educators have every day. So early childhood education, it is a vital and evolving profession in British Columbia, right? ECEs play an essential role in supporting the learning, the development, and well-being of children from birth to age 5. And also in BC, ECEs are licensed professionals, right? And it is regulated by the ECE registry under the Ministry of Education and Childcare. So to work in licensed childcare settings, educators must complete approved education, right? So they must have their certification, and then they must maintain that certification through ongoing professional development. And what's really exciting is that this field continues to grow and evolve alongside research on child development and early learning, which means educators are constantly building new skills, right? And making an even greater impact on children and families. That's pretty amazing, right? I can see a lot of you nodding your heads, right? And that tells me you're already starting to see just how meaningful and rewarding this profession can be. Okay, so just to continue, okay, so one of the questions people often ask is, why is early childhood education such an in-demand career right now, right? So the answer is simple: quality childcare and early learning, right? So it have become more important than ever for families, for communities, and the economy as a whole. And there is also growing recognition of the importance of early education in supporting children's long-term learning and development. So let me just give you what the statistics are saying in here. So according to the BC Labor Market Outlook 2025, more than 30,000 new ECE positions are expected between 2025 and 2035. So this is due to an increase in childcare spaces and workforce retirements. And the province has also introduced programs such as the Affordable Childcare Benefit and the Childcare Fee Reduction Initiative, so which continue to support and expand access to childcare services across BC. So from a career perspective, there are strong incentives as well, right? So through BC's early care and learning recruitment and retention strategy, eligible educators may receive up to $6 per hour in wage enhancement support, right? And according to Work BC, wage currently range from approximately $19 to $30 per hour. And another great thing about this profession is the flexibility, right? And variety of career pathways available. So as ECE graduates, you may work in childcare centers, in preschools, right? So you may also work in schools, in community programs, or even move into leadership, right? In consulting, or even in licensing, right? Or in adult education, or even operating your own childcare business. So again, for anyone looking for meaningful work, for career stability, right? And the opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives, early childhood education is becoming an increasingly rewarding path to consider. That's really exciting, right? Isn't it? Yeah. And again, I'd love for you to really take a moment and think about that. And yeah, so just to move forward, right? So now that we have explored the impact and career opportunities within early childhood education, let's just take a look at the pathway to becoming an ECE in BC. So one of the great things about this profession is that the process is very clear and structured, right? So which will help you transition confidently from education into the workforce. Okay. So the first step is completing an accredited early childhood education program through a recognized institution. Okay. So this will provide you with the foundational knowledge and hands-on experience needed to support young children's learning and development. And after graduation, you will apply to the ECE registry to receive your initial 1-year certificate. Okay. So then after completing 500 hours of work experience, you can also apply for a 5-year certificate. So once certified, you are officially recognized to work as a licensed early childhood educator in British Columbia, right? So, what I really appreciate about this pathway is that it combines education. Okay, so there is practical experience there. And most importantly, there is ongoing professional growth, right? So this will ensure that children and families receive high quality care and support from trained professionals. Okay, so there you go. So that gives a brief overview of early childhood education in British Columbia, including the growing demand for educators and the pathway into the profession. So, yeah, that's for me. And thank you, everyone, for your time and attention. I hope this gave you a better understanding of the opportunities and impact within the ECE field. And with that, I'll now hand it back to Jen.
Thank you very much, Dee. Okay, and now let's meet our guest speakers. Our first guest speaker is Nika Jibrail, who is the co-founder of Language Arts Early Learning, which is a childcare operation with 2 locations in Burnaby, as well as several online services to support early childhood educators with their career searches. Next, we have Christine Lumavel, who is a manager for Tiny Scholars Play School, a childcare organization which has locations in Surrey and Abbotsford, with plans to expand into Alberta. Next, we'll hear from Raj Pangli, who is the director for St. Barnabas Daycare Society, which is a nonprofit daycare and charity organization operating in New Westminster since 1971. We'll then hear from Zara Rabari, founder of Together in Childcare, which is a service offering support and resources for families and educators across Canada. We'll then hear from Lale Bahari, representing Pango Childcare Group, which is a family-operated childcare center in Coquitlam that incorporates Montessori, Reggio Emilia, and play-based approaches in their childcare curriculum. And finally, we'll hear from Cahal Campbell and Lynn Ragendin, representing YMCA, the largest provider of licensed childcare in BC. I would now like to introduce to you Nika Jibrail, whom I've personally known and worked with since 2019 when we were fellow ECE instructors. She will now speak about her organization, Language Arts Early Learning. Okay, thank you, Nika.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. What an honor to be part of this presentation. As you said, we knew each other when I was instructor, but something that I think is even more just amazing to share here is that I also, once was a student at the college, and, it all started there. So I'm so, so excited to share my story. You can go ahead and share the next slide. So I am the co-founder of private early learning school for children 10 months to 5 years old. And this childcare center is located in Burnaby. Our philosophy is to create purposeful, meaningful, literacy-rich experience across all educational disciplines through academic play-based learning. And I'm so excited to share that we just went from having a center for 16 children to now 75. So, we have expanded quite a bit here, and it's been a really great experience. At this time, we also are accepting practicum students for basic and post-basic ECE programs, as well as volunteers. So if anyone is also interested, then please do reach out to us. We're very happy to support you in your ECE education journey. Wonderful. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit more as well about the center here in my founder journey. But we can just take a moment there to also look at the pictures. I wanted to kind of show some pictures here of, my journey as I kind of went along there. So there's me in the classroom when I was the college instructor, me presenting a staff meeting, and also my picture there of me and my daughter that I just had her. So she was part of the grand opening of this big expansion as well. So life definitely happened, but this again, it all started for me with taking the first step. So I completed my ECE, my IT, and my SN in 2012 at Vancouver Career College. And the most amazing thing as well about this college is that you get hired right away if you do really well on your practicum, and the college is really great at supporting you through your practicums. Then after I completed that, I decided to take my diploma and transfer it to Capilano University. So for any of you who are also interested in doing this, this is also a pathway that you can take to further your education. And then I also studied infant consulting, administration in ECE, and teaching English as a second language. So just so you know as well, once you have your ECE, there is also a lot of other options out there for you. It's not just working in the classroom, but there's a lot of other things that you can do as well once you have that foundation. And then I opened Lael Academy in my parents' home actually, and that's where I gained all of my experience. And this was great because I got to experience what it was like to be a manager and an owner of a smaller center, and kind of prepare myself as I wanted to grow and develop the skill set that I needed. And then I became an ECE, IT, and SN instructor, and I love sharing all of my knowledge. Did I know at that time that it was actually going to be a really big part of my future as well? No, but that definitely had a huge impact as well on where I am today and what I'm currently doing. Then I opened my second location, which was a commercial center, and as I shared with you guys, we grew from 16 and a small team of our educators to 75 children and 14 of us teachers there. So and during this time, I had my daughter, and it's been a wonderful experience and journey. So in the most recent time, I also took all of my knowledge and experience and education, and I've also decided to present some workshops as well. I became a workshop facilitator, and we just also launched a podcast for my childcare center, so that kind of also has added to my portfolio as well. And the last thing that I'm going to share with you a little bit towards the end, it was Educator Connect, which is my latest project. And it was inspired by, early childhood educators and all of you guys out there who are starting your journey in this industry. I really wanted to, find a way to give back and to support you guys through this process of finding your dream job and getting hired in a childcare center that matches your needs and your desires. Thank you so much. You can go ahead. Wonderful. And then again here, I just want to highlight all of this was so possible because I took the first step and I joined Vancouver Career College. And you can do the same thing by joining CDI. All it is taking that first step. Once you're enrolled in the program, you'll realize that you're building off those foundational skills and knowledge that you need to succeed. What helped me the most is that, during, my program, my studies, I decided to map out where I wanted to go and what I needed to do in order to get where I am. Some days were easy, some days were hard, but I truly am really happy with where I'm at because I'm doing what I love. So each course at CDI is going to help you to start preparing yourself for becoming successful in your future career. So, as you're going through the program as well, you want to really make sure that you're taking your education really seriously and using all of the resources and the knowledge and your instructors so that you can really start to use your time wisely and prepare yourself so that you can succeed in your future. ECE is a growing market, as I shared my journey with you. But again, as I said, it's not only about being in the classroom. There are so many different other things that you can do as well. You can open your own childcare center. You can become a curriculum developer, an infant consultant. You can become a licensing officer. You can make felt puppets if you want. You can become a workshop facilitator. And these are just some of the things. There are so many more. And as Dee said, it's a growing market. So, opportunities are really endless. Your first step is to take your ECE program, which leads us to this next slide here. So key skills for the 21st century ECE. So really take this seriously. Full ECE credentials. You want to make sure that you're in this for the right reasons. You really care and you enjoy working with children. You have good communication skills, work well in a team. You're committed to growth and being your very best self. You're interested and want to learn about inclusive education. And most importantly here as well, you're really competent in those licensing regulations, ELF and the rights of the child and code of ethics. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So this kind of brings me here to my latest project that I just wanted to quickly touch upon here. So as I was saying, I wanted to create a job bank for early childhood educators and childcare centers so that they are able to find the right match. And this can support a lot of you as well that are going out onto practicum, because we will also have space for you to go in there and to showcase why you would be the most amazing practicum student as well. So basically what it is an opportunity to create a video profile and a digital portfolio of yourself. Childcare centers can do the exact same thing, so you can browse through and see which type of childcare center you would be interested in. That way you can also hire more quickly and make sure that you're the right fit for each other and you're going to be successful in your job and career. Practicum placements, as I said, we're there to support you with this as well. And another really great thing in here is that parents can also use the platform to search through for childcare centers so that they can, see all of the different options that are available. Wonderful. And if you want to connect with me, I also have my email address there, nikajabrail@gmail.com. That's going to be for workshops. So you can also see a list there of some workshops that I'm offering. And most of them are related to supporting the new ECE. And I'm more than happy to, talk to you more about it if that's something that you're interested in. I also have my childcare center email there. If you're interested in doing any practicums, then please reach out to us. We're happy to support you. And just there at the bottom as well, if you want to follow us on social media, we have our website and our Instagram handle. Hopefully I didn't go over the time there.
I think you're good.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Nika, so much for that wonderful presentation. Okay, now we're going to hear from Christine Lumabau, representing Tiny Scholars Play School. Okay, take it away, Christine. Christine, I think you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I
Oh, there you are.
Sorry. Jennifer, thank you so much for having me here and the rest of the CDI College. This is, I think, a great opportunity for the future ECEs here that we can definitely help. So my name is Christine, and I am the director over at Tiny Scholars Play School in the Surrey location. You can go to the next. So just a little bit about our location. We do have two locations, one in Surrey and one in Abbotsford. The Surrey location has been open for about almost a year now, and I've joined kind of when they were newly opened as well too. Our Abbotsford location has been open for about 6 years now, and they actually are connected with CDI College, so they've had some practicum students over there as well too. So both centers are open and welcome to any students who need to complete their practicum for basic and post basic as well too. about Tiny Scholars. We are a play-based program, and so we focus on the children's interest. And within the play-based program, we do have concepts as well too. So we'll still introduce monthly themes, but still try to focus on what the children are interested in. Another important aspect of Tiny Scholars is our Heart to Heart program, where we want to focus on, we want to prioritize the children's emotional growth alongside academics. So our jobs as educators is getting to know the children, what their likes and dislikes are, who their family members are, and what their routines and habits. As long as we know that information, children are more willing to they're they're they will allow us to care for them, and they'll trust us and rely on us as well too. We do have an ABC formula as well, so that one focuses on their attitudes, beliefs, and competencies. Next, please. So I started my career in 2010, so that's when I first graduated from ECE. Now, I encourage all the students here, like if you want to become an IT or you want to become an SN, do it, because I didn't do it and I kind of regret doing so because I especially love being in the infant classroom. So they're my favorite age group to be in. I mean, I love all children, but that's kind of where I want to be. So, if you're thinking of doing your IT, your infant and toddler, if you're thinking of doing your special needs, go for it, because you don't know where it's going to lead you to, right? So I've worked in different centers, home based, Montessori, licensed group care. Most of them are academic based as well too. And this new one here with Tiny Scholars is play-based, so it is a little bit different for me, but everything is a learning curve, and you learn as you go. So, yeah. Next slide, please. So I've had practicum students before. We do currently have one right now, and we'll be having a student from CDI College as well starting next month. But our app is for location because they're kind of they're beside CDI College. They always have CDI students, practicum students there as well. And so my advice for the future ECEs, something that you can bring into the field is, having your credentials for sure is very important. Having that care and that love for the children, showing them, when you go into work, the first thing that will make you happy is the children, because their joy and their happiness makes you happy as well too. So if you genuinely love what you do, there's no doubt you'll love all the children there. So just make sure when you go into work, you you put your best foot forward for them. Next, please.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine. And now we'll hear from Raj Pangli from St. Barnabas Daycare Society.
Thanks. Thank you for having me, to the entire CDI College for having us as a guest speaker today. My name is Raj. I'm from St. Barnabas Daycare Society. We're a fairly large center. We service about 75 families annually. We have about 55 spaces and 4 different programs, including IT, multi-age, over 3 program, and before and after school care. Our website, if you'd like to know more about us or any opportunities, or if you're looking for care, any of those things, we do have a website, so you can you can take a look at our team and what we do. Next slide, please. Thank you. We are a nonprofit charitable licensed group childcare with 55 spaces and have been serving the families of New West since 1973. Reverend Barnes established the daycare from the St. Barnabas Church, and he began this society after he saw the struggles of families in the area and the need for quality childcare. Our center is now completely separate, and the center is governed by a volunteer board of directors, which are which consist of parents and the community, and myself at the moment. Thank you. So in 1977, the daycare partnered with the Ministry of Social Services and offered specialized programs for children with special needs. St. Barnabas was one of the first centers to have a fully inclusive center for all children. So they initially began with care for specialized for children with needs. But with licensing regulations and the change in childcare and licensing and all those things, we do still service we still provide care for a lot of kids with needs, but the expectations have changed around it a little bit. In 1989, the center expanded to 55 children. I'm not sure how many we used to have prior to that. Over the years, St. Barnabas has struggled financially, and our future was kind of unstable and unsure. But with the help of our board director, our staff members, we are financially sound, and thriving in this community. So our heart and soul is our staff, and that's where we put all our um, effort, because they are the heart and soul of our center. If I can't speak enough about them, their commitment and their support helps us be one of the centers that a lot of parents have a lot of great things to say about. Our staff are the backbone of our center, and they've been here anywhere from 5 to 35 years. So we don't have a huge turnaround, but we do hire occasionally for part-timers, um, and we're always looking for new and upcoming staff to kind of fill those spaces. Staff work with the families and provide programming that help children grow and develop in a play-based philosophy. And we're just here in New West. Next slide, please. So at St. Barnabas, we believe that play is the cornerstone of quality early childhood programs, and it is through play that children learn about themselves and their world, and play fosters a child's physical, social, emotional, intellectual development. It's our goal to provide a child developmentally appropriate play-based program which meets the needs of all children. Um, as children play, their brains develop, muscles grow, and they're able to develop good social skills. And research shows that the first 5 years are some of the most important years of a child's life. And as teachers, it is our role to facilitate the play, where children can learn and develop new concepts and gain their independence. It is also very much our job to provide stimulating and emergent environments. And that is what I kind of love about our staff, who are working very closely with families and children and each other to create an environment for them. Next slide, please. So we provide a combination of structured and unstructured play. So we do take the kids' leads on a lot of things, but we do have some structured schedule for the children that we think works best for our programming, especially to make sure that their needs for food and nap and all those things are met. So we are constantly adjusting and flexible with our programming, but we do have a bit of structure where we do have set times. Um, yeah, and we believe that inclusion is beneficial and recognize that children have a variety of strengths, needs, talents, backgrounds, and interests. And we accept all of that here and work together to help them be their best self. So like I said, my name is Raj. And I began my journey because I truly, truly loved working with children, even as a teenager, as a um growing adult. I absolutely love this field, and I think that's what helps you stay in the field and thrive in there. You're always looking to be your best self in this field. And like Nika said, I think it's very important to carry that passion. And I say this because I see it in our staff every day. It's about going above and beyond what your expectations are and your role is in that environment. So as even in my early years, I was actively volunteering in the community for events and programs with children, including things like a Cinderella story and things like that. And that's kind of what drove my passion to go into the field. So as soon as I graduated, I knew I wanted to do the ECE program. And while I was in the ECU program, um, I was really thankful to do my practicum at all kinds of places, including preschools and different centers. Um, it was really nice to also do practicum in different age groups. And you kind of find where you fit and what fills your philosophy and what you feel right about teaching. So I think that's very, very important. It's not just about finding a place to work, it's about finding a place that feels like home for you, because that's where you'll thrive and do your best. Um, yeah, and then while I was completing my studies, I worked at another nonprofit center and I absolutely loved it. After I was on my final practicum here at this center, when I was hired as the role of a supervisor and in 2013, and I had the privilege of supervising more than four programs, staff over a 10-year period, and I was able to develop many good relationships, and my coworkers I absolutely treat them like my family. And I think that's what makes our environment loving and wanting parents to be with us every day. In 2023, I was honored to step into the role of the director, where I continue to lead with commitment and collaboration. As a leader, I feel like leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in your charge. And I don't believe that it's a hierarchy system. I believe that working together is what makes you a really, really great team um, for the kids, for the families, for your community. Sorry. Um, And when I'm at St. Barnabas, we seek educators who believe in the power of play, value meaningful relationships, are dedicated to creating a safe and engaging environment for children who feel capable, competent, and valued. Team members who lead with confidence, kindness, and collaboration and share a commitment in providing high quality care. Just some moments that really stood out to me as a parent and as someone who worked in the field. I've I always thought of myself as someone who wanted to learn from my peers and learn from the educators in my environment. And even though, we come in with new education, new learning, and new ways of teaching and all those things, there was still a lot that I felt like I learned from our staffing team who are seniors, who have been in the field for a very long time. We do have a senior staff who still continues to take everything she learns in our professional development days and will come in with fresh ideas and fresh curriculum to even after 35 years, her passion is remarkable for the field, for the kids. And I think that all comes from the passion she carries about working with children. And that's why I think it's very, very important. That's something that really stands out to me and something I really learned from her, to know that um, it's always about learning. Um, it's always about seeing what works for the kids and the environment. So when I'm hiring, I do like to see that you carry a strong understanding of play-based learning and inclusive and responsive practice. That you're always adjusting and you're flexible to be with the kids in your environment. I do often find that we do have a higher number of children with needs over the years, and it's increasing. And it is really important now more so than I have seen in the last 10 years to be very responsive to their needs. Um, I like to see that you have some knowledge of child development and the ability to observe and document, and be able to share with your team, with the families, what you see and what you're thinking of doing to help support those children. Um, I like I like to see that you have some passion and positive relationships and problem solving abilities, and to say, hey, how there is a problem, how can we fix it? Um, and most importantly, I think it's very important to have communication and foster respectful and open interaction with children, families, and coworkers. I like to see that, parents are kind of the first thing that you're the kind of the first person they see in the morning. So just saying a good morning and acknowledging them in the morning gives them a good day. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel good about the environment they're leaving their children with, the people they're leaving their children with. So I think that carrying a positive attitude and communication is very, very key in our field. So I like to see, and another piece is I do find that with like I find that it's hard, even for myself, as I was a student, I found it hard to walk into an environment and not feel like I was overstepping somebody or someone. And that's kind of what always pulled me back a little bit. But as a supervisor in that same program, I felt like I really appreciated those those coworkers or students or practicum volunteers or anything like that, to see that they were actually taking initiative and building those relationships within our environment. I felt like I really, really loved seeing that and knew those were the people I wanted to work with in my environment. Um, so our So here we feel our greatest responsibility is not simply to care for children, but to create a community where they feel valued, capable, and empowered to become their best self. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raj. Okay, now we're going to go to Zara Rabari. We're together in childcare. Thank you, Zara.
Hi everyone, I'm so happy and honored to be here today with CTI College and all of you. Thank you for having me today. Thank you. Before I start, I would respectfully acknowledge that this gathering takes place on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of Indigenous peoples. And I would like to invite all of you with the reflection on the title that I have on the slide or on the screen that you have. And just think about each word for a second. Reflective practice, presence, and well-being in early childhood education. How do you perceive it? What words come to your mind? What feelings come to your body? The sensations that you feel about each word. I just keep quiet for 1 or maybe 2 seconds, and then I will start and go to the next slide. Okay, thank you. Next slide, please. So today I'm going to talk about reflective practice. For everybody who has practiced as an early childhood educator, we all know that the days go fast. We always planning and we always have to go from one activity to another, one task to another. And there is really no time for us to sit and to take a breath even sometimes. And that is what my first mission when I started together in childcare. I felt that childcare is very fragmented and it is very individualized between government, between policymakers, between childcare centers, educators, parents, children, and we had to bring all of these together and make them a whole. That was my whole thought and mission and something that I had in my heart. The path that brought me here, I came to Canada in 2015. Of course, I had lots of experiences working with children, and I had my master of English from Iran. And then when I came here in 2016, I obtained my ECE and I opened my family childcare center. And it was a great opportunity for me to learn more with families, with children, and get familiar with the culture. Then I started my mentorship and being an instructor and being an advocate for childhood and the early learning. I am the founder of Together in Childcare, and I am so honored to be the author of A Place to Arrive. I wrote this book specifically for early childhood educators, as I understand the busyness of the days that we go through, the hard moments that just stays in our heart, and sometimes we go home thinking about the child and figuring it out what we can do to make it easier the next morning. My campus always has been my relationship with families, with children, with educators. The reflection, all the time thinking and reflecting and understanding and learning. The connection between the whole community and all parties that are involved in childcare and the community that I am growing in. Next slide, please. Throughout this process, I have learned from children how to listen. They have a lot to say. They taught me how to pause. They are very busy all the time, and we see them that they go from one activity to another. And at the same time, they pause. They wonder, they think. And this is amazing when you just go with the flow of children. You see how interested they are in even simple things, even as a rock that might be shapeless. The connection that they make with the nature, with the environment, with the people around them, with the friends, everything that surrounds them, and the reflection that they do, and ultimately they grow. So I am growing with children now for 30 years, and I am so happy about it. Next slide, please. Let me just move this a little bit. Okay. What future educators need most? I would say relationships before strategies. We sometimes get lost in strategies. What should we do next? what is missing, all of these things. I would say based on the discussions that I have had with early childhood educators, with the practicum students, the part that is missing is the relationship. Relationship makes a huge uh, difference in early childhood education. Curiosity before assumptions. So it's very important to come open to the problem, any inquiry that we have, we come with curiosity instead of coming with our judgments or assumptions. The third one is reflection before reaction. It's very important for being or having easier days. As an early childhood educator, we reflect and we understand how we want to respond rather than react to the things that we might encounter. The last one is connection before isolation. As ECEs, it's so easy to get isolated. Although you work with many families, many children, many colleagues, but because of the differences between values, so easily we can feel isolated. So it's important to come together to discuss respectfully and politely and just come out of that isolation. Next slide, please. Thank you. Reflective practice in everyday life. As I mentioned, as a child would wander around and just inquire about the whole environment. I would invite early childhood educators to do the same. Instead of following one activity to another, one routine, every certain moment of the day, we need to wonder what happened, what surprised me, what might I try next. So these are the reflective questions that all the time, like a child that is curious and all the time goes around with lots of questions, we have to be open to question, inquire about our surroundings and the response that we receive. Next, please. And the book that you see on the screen, this is the book that I explained. This is a reflective journal for educators, caregivers, and anyone. It can be for administrators, for any adult who seeks a moment to pause, reflect, and reconnect. A little bit about the book. The book is designed season by season and then month by month. It is 15 or 20 days of the month, so there is no failure for you to not to be able because of being busy. There are very short prompts. I would say 3 or 4 lines of the prompts each page. You just look at the page and you can doodle, you can draw, you can write, you can just read the prompt and let it go. Anything that works for you that specific moment. And I am so happy that I receive many positive feedbacks from the leaders in the field with the early childhood educators. As I understand, and leaders, those who work with early childhood educators and at the centers, they understand educators need to pause for their I don't want to call it well-being, but for the sake of humanity, you know what I mean? We just go, we are all the time busy and we need just that pause so we ground ourselves so we can co-regulate with children, so we can be with the child when they need us. Next slide, please. I know that many of you might have questions and would like to connect. I am more than happy to connect with you together in childcare platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. If you Google it or search it, probably it comes up. The QR code is on the screen. You can just take a photo of it and get in touch. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. We have a WhatsApp group as well, very close to what Nika is suggesting. I bringing the early childhood educators and the centers together. If anybody is hiring or if anybody is looking for a job, we just connect them. And it's a community coming together and talking. And as I mentioned, coming out of the isolation, brainstorming ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zara, for sharing how important critical thinking and reflection is becoming increasingly so in the ECE profession. Okay, just for the sake of time, we're going to try to move things along a little bit more quickly so that we can have enough time for questions from the audience. Okay, next I'm going to introduce to you Lale Bahari from Pango Child Care Group. Okay, Lale, can you go ahead?
Okay, hello everyone, and thanks for this opportunity, Jennifer. That was amazing. My name is Lale. I'm in this field since 2013. Um, um, well, long story. I'm coming from an engineering background, but always loving children was a passion for me. So I started early childhood education. But as some of you just mentioned, it didn't end it with just being as a teacher in the class. I step in the manager role after a few years of experiences because I wanted to challenge myself with more and more and learning new things. So after a few years of being manager, um, with a background of teaching from my family, I started to take a role as a practicum instructor from Sprasha College. And so I'm in that situation now. Also, I'm a supervisor at Pango Childcare Group. Pango is a kind of like a new center, 3 years old, I would say, in Coquitlam. It's play-based. The mission for Pango is to provide nurturing, high quality care that helps every child thrive with support while supporting families. We are very friends with the families. We're all communicating all the time with each other. We believe that we're not babysitters. We want to teach the kids what we know, and we want them to gain confidence, having joy, sense of belongings, and we want to see children grow. We're not there to just taking care of them. That's just part of it. I've been in this field for a few years, and I've been in few different as I think Christine mentioned many different type of childcares, from Montessori to play-based to preschool. So what I gathered here at Pango, the combining of like three play-based Reggio Emilio and Montessori kind of together. So the curriculum is a mix of these three. The major of it is a play-based, based on, as I think Nika mentioned, based on children's interest. I think personally, this is very important that we follow kids' interest in our curriculum. That's that makes like it's gonna make some like a bold creativity, and it's very important in early years for the kids. Yeah. So Pango's focus mostly is on social and emotional behaviors, actually, which I'm going to explain a little bit more later. Social emotional is very bold at Pango. We're trying to learn and teach kids that how to use their words, how to say something is bothering them, how to show their emotions. instead of pulling, pushing, hitting. What is the other option that you can do? How you can show your friend that you're sad about it, how you can say you're happy about it. So lots of emotionals that you can how you can control your emotion. So that's the bold Pango. Also, creativity and imagination is bold at Pango, which I'm going to explain later in the next slide. Next, please. Oh, we have a couple of programs here. First of all, I see that program, the philosophy here for Pango, next to social emotional growth and positive relationship with parents, is teamwork as well. Teachers having a good team connection with each other. The communication between the teachers are very, very good. We do have a communication book and we do have a communication WhatsApp group. So whatever it's happening, teachers communicating with each other, also teachers communicating with parents. We're using some Leo apps. I think most of you guys know Hi Mama, now it's Leo app. So lots of communication, messaging, pictures with parents, and that builds trust. So parents build trust with us, that they know that whatever happening, we want to let them know as soon as possible, and they are in touch with us all the time. So teamwork is very important with co-workers and also with the parents. And also learning through interest, I already talked about it. Next, please. We do have some programs such as Artist of the Month. This program is actually, we got a very good feedback from the parents and the community. So what we are doing is we're introducing one famous artist around the world to the children. And that's the reason is because we have way many different approaches to art. I'm an also artist as well, maybe because of that. That was kind of like my interest. We introduced, for example, this month is all about Picasso. Okay, kids' words and kids' language. Who is Picasso? Where is he from? What is his favorite color? What did he like to paint or draw? So some keywords with kids language. We introduce the artist to the children, and that the whole month we're gonna talk about that artist, and all those arts and creativity is based on that artist's works. For example, this month we all gonna do some Picasso. If you put your eyes on top of your head, that's totally fine. That's part of the art. So introducing those artists, it make more creativity for them. They're more interested to make that piece of art. They are very creative for that, and that's amazing. Also, we have lots of live experiences we're trying to. For example, life cycle of butterfly. We had all the caterpillars here at Pango, and they saw the whole process of life cycle of butterfly, changing to cocoon, and then changing to butterfly. We put the butterfly in a big basket. Well, we should give it to them too, because they're hungry. So maybe orange, watermelon. So all those things, hands-on experiences, all of them, kids are here at Pango. They're seeing it day by day, and they see that they feel that experiences. Next, please. Also, we have lots of we're gonna show kindness. We're gonna show love also to kids, and also teaching kids how to show kindness and love to others. One of these programs we had, it was the Arts Gala. Each child, even the infants, they did one piece of art here, all original. And then we had an event, and we invited parents and families. They came with and we had a silent auction, and then the piece of art sold for the the most beat that they had. All the monies, which it was $1,150, donated to Children's Hospital on behalf of children at Pango. So all of the children, especially 3 to 5, they knew what is this program, why they're doing it. They knew that they're helping sick kids at the hospital with their artwork. They learned about kindness, they learned about love, and kind of such a things as well. So that was an amazing program we had. Also, we had Adopt a Street program. We adopted one street here next to our center by Pango, and each month kids are responsible to clean that street, put all those garbages away, and the reason, and that feel of responsibility, feeling of being important member of a team, and also being as a team and teamwork, all those things are both in this Adopt a Street program. Next, please. As I said, we are very close with the families. Good relationship. We have lots of parties here at Pango: Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, Christmas party, galas. We have lots of parties, and the reason is we want parents to mingle with each other, with parents, with teachers, also parents and parents together. Kids are playing. It's something different from inside the class, but on the other hand, it's socializing, food, potlucks, bouncy castles, lots of those things, which is make good relationship with their parents as well. Yeah, next, please. What we look for in educators, you need to have passion for this job. Otherwise, this might be challenging or might be hard, spending 8 hours per day. You need to have passion. You need to have that smile kind of pretty much every day, especially with parents and also with kids. Kids can get your vibe when you're sad or when you're nervous. They can get your vibe, and then it can affect their moods as well. You have to be you need to be kind, you need to be patient. Each kids are different, kids are unique, kids approach are different. You need to learn how to approach the child A and how to approach the child B, because their responses might be different. So you need to be patient, you need to educate yourself, you need to read, you need to go to workshops. Also, teamwork is really important, because you are working for 8 hours with a group of teachers. So you need to build that relationship with other teachers as well. Communication needs to be there. Also, kindness and love, and then good positive feedback you need to get or give. That's really important. And you need to be responsible, you need to be creative, you need to be on board, just everywhere. You shouldn't just stop in whatever you need to just keep learning. It's all about learning all the time. Next, please. Advice for future educators: just be open to learning, ask questions, again, build relationships, and just remember that every child is unique. Try to problems and try to find a solution. Try to study about different kind of kids, how to approach them, how to distract them, how to go to the kids' level to talk with them and look into their eyes. So you need to get things from senior teachers, maybe from the leaders, to see how they're behaving, and then you just keep that for yourself. It's challenging, but again, deeply rewarding. At the end of the day, you are with a bunch of cute little ones that they love you for sure, and they want to learn from you, and you need to do your best to be a good teacher, educator, and also friend for the kids. Next, please. I think I'm done. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Lale. Okay, finally, our last presenters, Cahal Campbell and Lynn Riggenden from YMCA. They're here to present their information on YMCA. And then just for the sake of time, let's try to keep this a little bit quick so that we can get to some of the many questions that we're receiving in our chat. Thank you.
No problem. Well, thank you, Jennifer and CDI. So we just want to welcome to you guys to the YMCA BC Career Pathways. We're excited to be part of CDI's ECE virtual info session. So we can go to the next slide, please. My name is Lynn Riggenden, and I'm one of the YMCA BC's managers in childcare operations in the early years. My journey with the Y started off with me actually being a student at the YMCA, then being hired as an EC as a new grad. Then I've been a floor staff, a team lead, a supervisor, and now a program manager. So again, like you guys have reiterated, the pathway to EC is very, very diverse. I'm an ECE with an IT and SN certification, and I've also gotten my bachelor's from Capilano University. At the YMCA, we have a variety of programs across BC, supporting children and families and the community. I primarily work with employees and educators from our early years and school age departments, and my colleague Cahal is going to introduce himself.
Hi all, my name is Cathal Campbell. I'm a talent acquisition specialist here at the YMCA. So I've been with the Y for about 2 years now, specifically with a focus on our early years department. So as Lynn mentioned, so we're a charitable community focused organization. We have, I guess, different facets of the organization. So it could be childcare centers, health and fitness programs, youth programs, newcomer services, and community outreach programs. So our main goal is really just promoting, I guess, health equity across the province, while also ensuring people are able to meet their potential as well in their chosen career paths. So as one of BC's largest childcare providers, we offer IT care. We have 3 to 5 programs, of course, preschool, and then school age care as well. So we have about 40 different centres across the Lower Mainland, and this includes a number of centres along the Sunshine Coast as well. And we have new locations opening up all the time. So we just had a centre, FD Sinclair, open in Surrey. We had Noble Park recently open in the UBC area, as well as another centre opening in Port Moody, hopefully next month. So very much expanding within the province. And then we also have a number of centres as well in Northern BC and Kamloops. And my colleague Norma Tetlow is the recruiter who especially recruits for early years and school age in, again, Northern BC and the Kamloops areas. So I think one of the benefits of the YMCA is that we have a lot of different pathways for people who are maybe trying to get into the field or have an interest in the field. So for example, we have our school age before and after school programs. So we find a lot of people who are maybe newly arrived to Canada, or who maybe are just fresh out of school, maybe thinking about getting into a career in childcare. With our before and after school care programs, it's a good stepping stone into just kind of finding out if it's a career path for yourself. So, and then we also have our Camp Elphinstone summer program as well. So this is good for, again, maybe students who are looking for summer work and maybe interested in continuing to the career, but just want that flavor. So would definitely recommend, if you don't necessarily have an ECE qualification, just to check out our website for any other opportunities as well. So within the YMCA, we of course follow our approach is really rooted in a play-based learning, and so then this is something that Lynn will touch on further in the next slide.
Yeah, so in the previous slide that we were just on. So the
Awesome,
YMCA has a national curriculum for both our school age programs, which is called Place to Connect. And for early years, it's called Playing to Learn. So in the title, it says it's basically play-based. We follow an emergent curriculum, so we follow the children's interests. Observation and program planning are crucial to this. Room setups and enriching experiences for the children to explore. And so it fosters the children's natural curiosity. And so again, if that's something that you're interested in, we do offer trainings throughout the year for anyone new to the Y to become familiar with it. And you can get credits for your 40-hour work experience if you do take those with us. Next slide, please.
Thank you. So I guess, you might be asking why the why. So I think it's really at the YMCA we really foster a supportive environment for our staff, especially in which to develop their careers. So a lot of opportunity for growth. So as Lynn had touched upon with her career path, there is definitely a pathway for our frontline staff to move into more senior positions within the organization. And there's also trainings and professional development options provided throughout the year as well. For example, we close all our centres for 1 week towards the end of August. We just get all our teams together for training in 2 different locations around the city. So it's a really good place just for people to connect, maybe refresh their understanding of our Play to Learn curriculum, as well as just a good way to kind of socialise and get everyone to meet each other, especially with the size of the department. So I think then, some of the benefits as well within the organization. Of course, we offer benefits with the Y. So some examples would be competitive vacation and paid sick time. So you'd also be able to avail of YMCA gym membership. We have our pension plan, and then medical and dental benefits. We also would have reduced childcare rates and priority placement for YMCA staff. So that's also could be beneficial if maybe you have any children yourself and are looking for placement. And then of course, I think the main thing is that we are a charitable organization, and the impact that we have on the community is definitely profound. So it's definitely a very rewarding organization to work for. If you go to the next slide, please. So this QR code, if you scan it here, this will bring you to our careers page. So all our positions are posted directly on our website. We generally try to post around 10 days. So especially for some of our centres that are governed by the collective agreement, the BCGEU. So with our new centres opening, there's always a lot of opportunity for positions within the organisation. For example, I think last month we had around 30 positions posted alone. So it's definitely a lot of moving parts, especially with the new programs and new centres opening. So definitely recommend just to keep an eye on our website and try to apply for maybe any positions for centres that might be close to where you live, or maybe might suit your availability, experience, etc. And then if you go to the next slide, please. So then this is just an example of our career page, just kind of give you a brief overview. So if you go into it, you can put in the job title. So maybe if it's want to look for something more specific in terms of if it's infant toddler, support and inclusion, maybe you can also search by the location. And then if it's an on-call position, full-time position, etc. So this is just kind of an example of what to look for when you are on our career website. And so I think, it's been touched upon here what we're looking for in staff, but I think it's a lot of people have mentioned it already, but I think just kind of really for within the YMCA, it's just a strong foundational understanding of the Play to Learn approach. So, that could be a good experience with observation, documentation, to I guess just track children's interest and development. Of course, good interpersonal skills, having that ability to communicate with children, and then of course staff and parents as well. Of course, then a passion for the field is probably the most important thing as well. And then being adaptable to situations, especially where you might be working with children who might have more individual needs, or if you're supporting in maybe different programs. So just kind of being flexible in these dynamic situations is of course super important. So I think that's everything from us. I really made sure to fly through that just so we leave time for some questions. But hope that was of some information or some help to everyone.
Hey, thank you so much. That was a lot of information, and you covered it so quickly and so thoroughly. Okay, it's now my pleasure to introduce Michelle Perganin and Angeline Lau from CDI College's ECE program coordinators. They're here to present an overview of the early childhood education program at CDI College and share important details about what students can expect throughout their training. So I think many of the questions that I saw in the chat will probably be answered through their presentation. Okay, take it away, Michelle and Angeline. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Wow, that was such an amazing presentation from all of our guest speakers. I was extra excited to know that St. Barnabas was actually participating in this. My son actually went there for daycare, so it was really great to hear Raj speaking. Anyways, thank you, Jennifer, for that introduction, and good evening, everyone. And we are so glad for everyone being here. As mentioned, my name is Michelle, and I am one of the ECE program coordinators here at CDI College. One of our main roles here is to support our students by connecting them with practicum host facilities, arranging placements, and providing guidance and support throughout their practicum experiences. So this evening, we're excited to share a little bit more about our program and how we all work together with both students and employers to support successful practicum and pathways. I want to start off just by saying that our program is fully accredited and recognized by the BC ECE Registry and PTIRU, which is the Private Training Institutions Regulatory Unit, which ensures our students meet provincial standards for certification before they start working. Now, in terms of our structure, the program runs for 44 weeks, and that's just under 1 year. These 44 weeks are combined with 1,190 hours of theory classes and 410 hours of practical work training, which allows students to graduate with hands-on experience. Speaking of graduation, CDI College has had high numbers of students graduating each year. So just between 2024 to 2026, there was close to 900 students that have successfully graduated and are now either working actively in the field or has opened their own center and employed others. So as you can see, our ECE program is very popular, and it's also helped open amazing doors for our students. I also wanted to share that students may also be eligible to apply for the ECE bursaries that can help provide financial support to their studies. I'm going to hand this over to Angeline, who will also continue highlighting the many valuable opportunities and benefits this program has to offer. Thank you. Go ahead, Angie.
Thank you, Michelle, and hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to speak with you today about our program. So in addition to what Michelle has shared, I would also like to add that our program is established, has a strong reputation with consistent outcomes. One of the key features of our program is that it is delivered online through distance learning. So this means that students can complete the coursework asynchronously. This provides them with flexibility to balance work or family commitments. At the same time, we also offer live instructor sessions so that our students still have opportunities to connect and ask questions throughout the course. We also place a strong emphasis on student support. So throughout the program, what this means is that students receive guidance from admissions advisors, financial planners, and student services teams to support them from start to finish. Another major strength of our program is that we partner with many childcare centers, which is, our extensive practicum network. We give students practicum opportunities, and in many cases, these practicums do turn into employment offers for them. In addition to the above, we also offer career services, including resume support, interview preparation, and job search assistance, even after graduation. So overall, our program combines flexibility, strong support, and real-world experiences, and it is designed to help our students successfully transition into meaningful careers in early childhood education. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, just for the sake of time, we're going to go straight to panel discussion. There are a couple of questions that I was going to present to each of the guests that we have. We're going to start off with Nika first. Nika, how can ECEs access the services on Educator Connect?
Thanks so much, Jennifer. The best thing that they can do is go to the website, and I'm going to share it here in the chat box. And then just go ahead there and add their email address to our newsletter and the waitlist for the big launch for when Educator Connect goes live. I'm just going to add it there in the chat box.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'm just going to throw out another question to the panel. Lynn and Kahal, what opportunities are there for career growth within your own organization, YMCA?
So there's lots of growth, as you can tell, in my journey in particular, but there's also growth in other departments. We've had educators on the floor move into roles like that we're calling them the schedule coordinator. We also have had people move up into other roles like training or HR and things like that. So there are lots of growth opportunities. We also provide, like Kahal said, lots of training whenever we can. We have a training team that sets up professional development things or anything that maybe we're struggling with and need reminders on. And so we'll work with our team to figure out what that looks like. But there's so many growth opportunities. And I think the most important thing is that for growth, you're open-minded about it and you're flexible and you're curious. I think those are sort of where to start if you are wanting to grow.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, one final question I'm going to pose to the panel. I'm actually going to direct it to Zara. Zara, what kind of workshops or additional training can you recommend for ECEs who wish to further their careers or education?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question again?
Sure. What workshops or additional training can you recommend for ECEs who wish to further their careers or education?
We offer workshops with the Together in Childcare platform, and some of them are free, some of them are paid, and there are self-paced 20 hours for $25, which is very convenient because it is self-paced and it is based on the platform that is Padlet, and it is very creative and different from what we always experience about just sitting and listening to the lectures. We basically inquire ourselves through watching videos and digging more ourselves, and then reflection, and then getting the certification. At the same time, there are good resources that we can go through. I got many messages from the participants. Sorry that I had to answer all of them in the chat if I made it messy. You guys just feel free. I copied and pasted the link to the WhatsApp channel or WhatsApp group. You can just join to the WhatsApp group and excuse me, and I can answer any questions that you might have about the PD or any other questions.
Okay, we have time for questions from the audience to ask for the panel. So if anybody has a question that they would like to direct at the panel, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll give you the floor.
Hi, everybody. It's Gurdeep here.
Hi, Gurdeep. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, I just want to ask that is there any opportunity for, like, now we're gonna start our practicum soon, and I'm in Surrey, so is there any opportunity that we can go and do our practicums in nearby in any place, like
in the Surrey area?
Yeah.
You would probably have to speak with your practicum coordinator, and they can connect with you. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations on what kind of center you would like to be placed at, you can provide them with a list of your preferred centers, and they can start with that list.
Yeah, because I was in this meeting since it started, so I heard that some of the teachers, they mentioned that we can go and ask for the practicums also. So that's why I'm asking that if we want, we can contact them for the practicums or not. Like Like I don't want to disturb them because I am not a registered ECE yet. So I just want to ask that can I bother one of you guys for
I
practicums or
would
not?
recommend, I would actually recommend working directly with your practicum coordinators for that. You
Got
can
it.
provide
Got
them
it.
with the list. They can seek out the hosts, and
Okay.
if it works out, then they could prepare the placement
Th-
paperwork for you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Means a lot. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Just
One more
sorry,
question.
sorry to bother you at last. I just want to know how to start a job search. From where I can start. From the last 5 years, I hold 5 years of license as a ECE, but unfortunately, I didn't get any job. I put my resume on LinkedIn, or Indeed, but still searching for a job. Could you help me with this? I'm in Surrey.
Um, my suggestion to you is maybe work with somebody in career services, maybe talk to Service Canada, have somebody take a look at your resume, perhaps reach out to Nika from Educator Connect and Language Arts Early Learning, and maybe she could help you with your
I
job
just need
search.
mentorship. I need someone who can just mentor me, and I don't know the work style of a basic like how to get a job in Canada. I'm new here, so I just want someone to help me with this job search. Could you
Um,
tell me any
if
recruitment or any
if
platform?
you put your email address, we could maybe try to reach out to you with further resources for you.
Thank you so much. I'll put
Okay.
it.
Thank you. And you said your name was Gurpreet, is that correct? Sorry,
My
I
name
didn't
is
catch the name.
My name is Shifu.
Oh,
Parshvi
Shifu.
Jindal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If you can put your information in the chat, we'll try to reach out to you later.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions?
Yes,
I
yes, I
have
do.
a question.
Please go ahead.
I'm Damini Rana and I live in Abbotsford. And I would like to do my practicums in my city only. Like I'm living in Abbotsford, BC. So any suggestions for locations here only?
If you're already currently attending at CDI College, you should communicate directly with your practicum coordinators who would be able to provide you with some suggestions for some of our approved centers in that area.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, I see two more hands. Would they like to answer their question or ask their question?
Hi, I'm Susan. So, I'm in Vancouver. So my question is, back home, I came in Canada with a diploma as a teacher, a grade one, and here I've done the ECE course. So I just want to know how I can navigate in order to find myself in the area of my profession as a teacher. Back home, I had 4 years of teaching, which I started with, we said nursery, primary, and I left teaching in the secondary, right up to high school. So I don't know how to go about these issues here.
So I would suggest again, please leave your information, contact information, and we'll do what we can to provide you with some information for additional resources.
Okay,
Sorry, Jennifer. I didn't mean to interrupt, but are there any questions specifically for our guest speakers, so our employers? So those are questions that we would want to be asked. So any questions specifically regarding practicums, practicum placements, or questions like that, please direct them to your designated practicum coordinators. But if anyone has questions directly to the employers, those are questions that we will be taking.
Yeah, I have two. The first question is, can I start volunteering to any school just for me to build up a profile as to have access to teach in any school? And what can any of the schools that have given out they elaborated their schools profiles and all the like. Is there anyone who can help me out in this aspect?
Okay, can one of our employers answer the question, please?
I think with the YMCA, we definitely have volunteering opportunities within the organization. I think if you go onto a website, there should be a contact detail for someone to inquire on how to volunteer within the organization. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it should be on the website. If it is a case that you're new to Canada and you're just trying to get that experience up, I would just again point to the school age opportunities within the organization. So with our before and after school centers, I think we have around 70 centers across the lower mainland. So there's a lot of opportunities. We have our fall hiring coming up over the next few months. So I think, tried to get everyone hired before August, ideally. So if you just take a look at their school age before and after school portion of our career page, there should be a lot of postings come up over the coming weeks and months. For these positions, we would just require the candidate to have a responsible adult certificate. So this is something I think that can be done over a few days, so it's not too time intensive. And the fact that you have that experience of working with children previously is fantastic and is definitely something that we look for. So I would definitely recommend that, just to check out maybe the school age portion of the website. If not that, if you're more volunteer focused, then I think actually Lynn, I just see it shared in the comments. So thank you, Lynn. So just has a link to reaching out to inquire about volunteering. So just two options there.
Okay, I'm looking for both. If I can see someone who can hire me, I'm open.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I'm open for both. I'm not like
Brilliant.
stereotype. I'm open. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you. Are there any other employers that may want to add to that, or are we good for the next question?
Oh, then I want to say, plus, I've been doing caregiver work here in Canada for 2 years.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Good to know. Thank you. All right. So no other employers want to add on to that. We'll move on to the next question. Suzanne, oh no, you already asked your question. There's another one here. And Sia, did you have a question directly for the employers?
Yes, I do. Thanks for the information today. I'm applied for YMCA on May through Indeed, but I didn't get any response. I'm wondering, how can I follow up, or how can I connect them, because it's not on the Indeed anymore. Just it. Could you please help me? How can I follow up about that? Thank you so much.
For sure. So any inquiries, just in terms of your application, if you reach out to our HR inbox, so the email address is hr@ymcabc.ca, just inquire about your applications, and our team will help you there.
Could you please put it in the chat
For
box?
sure, yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a good
No problem.
All right.
Yep, go ahead.
Didn't find the option to raise the hand. So
Okay.
yeah, my question is like when I want to open a new daycare, so I want to explore the options from the employers. What will be best for me? How, like, regarding the funding, regarding the certifications, how to find like appropriate places where we can how can I start? Like, I'm afraid of taking first step, as Mika mentioned in her slides. So what would be the first step to do that?
Hi, Jaspreet. Thanks for your question. The first thing that I would recommend for you is, do you have any experience already working in the field, or are you brand new?
No, actually, my background is in BBA in project management, and now I have done my ECE here.
Okay, so my First suggestion for you would be to actually get some practical experience working out in the field, because there's just a lot to know and manage when you're opening your own childcare center. And whilst you're doing that, whilst you're getting some experience, I would start to look for a location. But in order to do this, you'll have to really be familiar with the BC licensing regulations because there are a lot of regulations that you have to meet. And you can keep those regulations hand in hand with, as you're looking for a space. And yeah, I think that that's your starting point is to actually get that experience and familiarize yourself with the regulations and start to look for the location.
Okay, thank you so much.
No
I have
problem.
a similar question to Jaspreet. Can I just quickly ask?
Sure.
Okay. I can also not find the raising hand thing. Anyways, thank you everybody, first of all, for all this time and your support. The question that I have is that we already talk about all this, like opening our own and finding a job. But like what is the best thing when we go for when we build a resume? So what is the number one thing as an employer you see in a resume, so that if somebody is not finding a job, that they can like put into it, or like they can build a strong resume? Is there anything that you guys go for, like particular, okay, this person has this one, okay, this is like a good resume for us?
So to summarize, you want some suggestions on how to make your resume stand out against others,
Yeah,
correct?
kind of. Yeah, you can go for like there has to be like a one thing that okay, that should stood out to most of us, if not in a management position, but just like in a journal.
Okay, would anybody in the panel like to answer that question?
Yeah, I'd like to take a swing at that one. So for myself, when I'm looking for a resume, it just depends on what position we're kind of hiring for as well. So if I'm hiring for a full-time position, I do often kind of look for experience because it's kind of a long-term commitment for us, and I like to know that you have a little bit background. But if I'm looking for like a casual position or part-time, um, I don't necessarily look for certificate, sorry, I don't look for experience. I look for education, and I look
Okay.
for what you're doing to gain more experience. So I'm looking for volunteer. I'm looking for if you're trying to gain more certificates in certain fields, or like adding to your resume in some sort of way. That tells me that you're passionate, that you're looking to advance in this career and things like that. So that's kind of what I look at for casual part-time positions.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Josh.
Okay, so that's going to conclude our information session. So we had a lot of really good questions and a lot of excellent information from our guest speakers. And I would like to extend our sincerest thanks to our panelists for taking the time to join us this evening, and for sharing your valuable experiences and insights. I hope you found this information session very informative, and I hope that you can stay connected with us through some social media platforms that you'll see at the bottom of the screen. Amy, can you actually go to the last slide? Thank you. Okay, so a lot of you had questions about the program. So for additional information about admission requirements, fee structure, some scholarships and referral bonus information, you can reach out to, if you're already working with an admissions advisor, you can still connect with them for that information. Additionally, you can also reach out to Santosh Shikapuri, who is one of our directors of admissions at CDI College at the Surrey campus, and her contact information is right here. Okay, So I thank you all for joining us tonight and for taking the time to attend this session. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. So much appreciation. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.